I'm saying? I'll just use a little bit of time that I have, to educate you on something I've been doing for a long time. For one, for those who don't know, my information is really for fit over 35. So if you're 35 and up, you know what I'm saying, you tuned into the right spot to really get in the best shape of your life. A lot of this, don't get me wrong, information can be utilized for somebody that's 21, 18, and etc. But who I'm really trying to cater towards the end of the day when it comes down to getting in shape, like I said, is my 35 and over crew. You know what I mean? Like, we got a lot to deal with, whether it be business, career wise, put finances in one bucket. We got family, you know what I mean? For those like myself that have, multiple children, you know what I'm saying? And still trying to get in shape and try to stay in shape, you know what I'm saying? So it's little things that I want to give you and gift you to point you in all the right directions. Because I feel like sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, this can get very overwhelming quick. And that's not something I want to do. I want to, the monkey off your back, make everything make sense. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, like go back and tap in with the videos that I already dropped over 700 plus videos you can take advantage of right now. That shows workouts, my personal workouts over the years, as well as general information that I feel like is very important, like 3 must-dos right now. I'm must do is because those, every time I drop a video giving you 3 things that you can do right now, it's something that you can really implement right now. You know what I'm saying? In order to get in great shape. So once again, for those who've been tapping in, loving the content, don't forget to, subscribe, like, so on and so forth. But what I'm gonna try to do now, from now on, is when I get a chance, I'm really gonna try to jump on live. You know what I'm saying? Because like the whole point of me jumping on live is really to show you what I got going on, who I am, and make everything make sense at the end of the day. Like I said, I may not cater towards everybody. You know what I mean? And you got to understand that everything ain't for everybody. But once again, I do want you to understand I am a coach that does practice what they preach. I'm not about telling you to do something and giving you to do something that I haven't damn near done myself, or, you know what I'm saying, know it works from using it, whether it be with myself or with the client. Generally, I use it first anyway, just to be clear. But, you know what I'm saying, I just want to break everything down for you. So first thing I need you to do, if you haven't done this already, somebody that's like doing it, they still locked in, they still going to the gym right now, is take the time to write down your goals. Your goals are going to be very important. Your goals are going to show you where are we headed. Like you want to make sure your goals are written down, whether it be you want to lose 10 pounds, that could be a short-term goal. Your long-term goal could be a point that you want to gain, you want to lose 50 pounds, you know what I'm saying? But rather short-term and long-term, you need both goals. A great short-term goal could be, I want to schedule myself to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. That can be a great short-term goal. Would it help you build 5 or 10 pounds of muscle that you're looking to put on, or drop 5 to 10% body fat percentage? I mean, goals are going to be very important because this shows what your vision is. All you got to do is make sure you have the discipline, you stay consistent, and you surround yourself around the things and people that are going to keep you afloat. That's going to be very, very, very important. Appreciate you tapping in, by the way. Appreciate everybody tapping in. And if you do have questions, drop your questions as we go along as well. Because like I said, I'm all about being transparent. I'm somebody that has been in the fitness industry for a long time, certified through NASM as well as ISSA. So I do want y'all to understand that it's not just somebody who just, talking shit or just an influencer. I'm somebody who really does this. I train for a living. That's my main source of income. Yes, I do landscaping at the end of the day too. But what I've been doing in my bread and butter since 2009 has really been personal training, just to be clear. I used to manage the training department for LA Fitness, where I had anywhere between 6 to 18 trainers. So once again, I want you to understand, I hire the trainers. I help keep the trainers educated, and also get them to understand that when it comes down to you being a personal trainer, you can pick what niche, you know what I'm saying, that you want to cater to, whether it be just, helping people build muscle, whether it be a point just getting people overall condition, whether it be a point you training athletes. There's so many things that you can do when it comes down to personal training. And like I said before, I've been in this industry for a long time. So you're talking about somebody who just do this. I ain't new to this. Your boy is definitely true to this though. So like I said, if you got questions, drop your questions below. But going back to it, I need you to make sure you write down your goals. Goals are going to be very, very important. Like at the end of the day, goals can be the end all be all. That either help, you know what I'm saying, that you're even moving in the right direction and moving in the wrong direction. The reason why I say moving in the wrong direction is because I feel like some people don't set realistic goals when it comes down to them really trying to get in shape. So I want you to make sure you're setting realistic goals. If you feel as though your goals are unrealistic, I would say just talk with a professional, someone who, like I said, who's been doing this for a while, somebody at your local gym. Like I said, you can even message me, little stuff like that, and I can point you in the right direction. But writing down your goals is going to be very important. Like I said, this is showing you your destination. One thing I do want to be clear, and I think this is something that's overlooked, because most people may not hit their goals or they don't realize this. But as soon as you hit that target, you will have other things that you want to do. So it might be a point that you're like, oh, I want to work towards, reducing my body fat percentage. But then once you get your body fat percentage low enough, then it might be specific areas that you want to target, which is not a problem. I do want you to understand, when it comes down to targeting specific areas, you cannot spot train. I think this is something that's overlooked. You cannot spot train at the end of the day. People love to think that you can spot train and say, oh, I only want to tone up my arms, but I don't want to touch these areas. One of the best things you can do is make sure you effectively train the entire body. And I guarantee at the end of the day, a lot of those areas that you want improvement on, they're going to be improved upon, because you may not realize that the other area, the opposite area, is really still, affecting the area that you want these aesthetic looks or whatever the case may be from. But I want you to understand, spot training is not something that you should look forward to. For all my people that say, oh, I just want to lose the stomach, at the end of the day, you can't spot train. You need to reduce body fat percentage throughout the entire body, change up your eating, and then on top of that, make sure you maximize your recovery. Those are just a few basics of what you can do. You know what I mean? So like I said, when I jump on here, I want to give you some game to point you in the right directions. And like I said, just to keep you motivated and pushing towards getting what you want, because that's one of the biggest things. I don't want you to just start something and don't complete it, or it can be a point that you don't have enough information that you think you're doing something, that you're doing the right thing, but then come to find out you're not doing the right things that work for you. That's very important. You need to make sure you're doing the right things that work for you. Remember, this is our body that we're talking about when it comes down to getting in great shape. And I think a lot of people don't realize how smart the body is at the end of the day. And do understand, plateaus can hit if you're doing a lot of the same things, but doing the same things, if you know how to tweak them, they can technically be different. So I do want you to understand that you got to take that to an extent with a grain of salt, because some people are like, oh, if you do the same thing, then you won't get results. To an extent, it depends on what is considered rehearsal conversation, but the fact that it's right there is kind of annoying. But if you want to drop questions, drop questions. Oh yeah, all right, so we back on a lot. My bad on that. Like I said, it was a little tight area. I'm driving, trying to give you the best that I can when it comes down to it, to make sure, I'm pointing you in the right direction. And I'm gonna be real with you, I really don't have a lot of time, just because of putting on, doing a couple things at one time. So, always trying to make sense as I go along. My apologies for those who, like I said, been tapping in. Hopefully everything is, locked in now, so I can, keep the live going. You feel me? But overall, like I said, one of the biggest things you need to do when it comes down to it, first, write down your goals. That's always going to be important. And then two, I need you to be sure at the end of the day, I hope it's not connecting to this, because I don't want that to connect to this. Damn. I think it is. Let me unplug that real quick. My bad. Bear with me. This is why you got to make sure when you're doing this, you already got them set up, because I definitely wasn't set up. I just want to make sure, I still got this GPS in. I got a little bit of ways to go. But then also, I want to make sure I charge this phone, because we had a lot going in. No, I don't want to. No. So, yeah, there we go. So, we back to it. So one thing I want you to understand is, once again, is staying consistent. When talking about consistency, where I'm coming from with the consistency, I appreciate everybody that's tapping in right now, by the way. I appreciate everybody that's tapping in. It's just a little bit hard when like I said, you got a little bit of time and you're just trying to maximize the time. I got a ways to go. I got like an hour to go on my drive. I just finished servicing a property. So for me, you know what I'm saying, I want to tap more in on the YouTube, just, you know, give people game to point them in the right direction. So once again, my apologies, bear with me when it come down to it. It's I wasn't expecting, once again, to, you know, go through where I went through. Generally, to come where I'm at, I generally just hop on a highway. This train taking me through all types of back streets. And also remember, if you got questions as we go along over anything, like I said, just drop your questions. If by some chance it does disconnect, you know what I'm saying, like I said, just bear with me. I'm going to stay on at the end of the day. So it's just going to take a little second because I'm passing through something. If the signal does go out or it's lagging for a quick second. But like I said, a lot of the time I don't have time to really set up and do this at home. It's another reason why now I'm trying to do like these, I guess these car chronicles is what you want to call it, whatever the case may be. But you know, like I said, we gonna do what we do to make sure, like I said, you getting properly educated. One thing I want you to do also when it comes down to fitness, and I think this is important, is being it for the long game. Do not get frustrated about you not getting where you want in a month or 2 months, because I do feel as though a lot of people fail to realize that getting in shape is not something that just out of nowhere happens. The easiest way for like getting in shape to really just happen is if you've really been incorporating and doing this for a while. Like for example, you're a former athlete, you was on top of your fitness, and you know, you had a kid and you fell off for a couple years, you're more likely to get in shape fast. You know what I'm saying? Mainly if it's something that you've been doing because you only took a small hiatus. But for someone who's never been in the shape that they want to get in, patience is key. Patience is very key. And that's another reason why I say write down your goals and track your progress, because this will keep you level-headed. Because a lot of people think that when it comes to fitness, it's just a lateral motion. You're not just going to move laterally. You're not just going to go up and out of nowhere. It's just like, it's just an up thing. It's just your stocks just climb to 1,000%. It can be a up and a down game. It can definitely be an up and a down game, mainly depending on what you're truly disciplined in and the things that you aren't disciplined in. Because some of the things that you're not disciplined in, you have to build discipline. You have to go through the trial and error to try different systems and different formulas to help you move the goalposts in a way that you want to move. And I think so many people fail to realize when trying to get in shape, you have to overcome the things that you are terrible at. You have to build discipline. You got to get motivated. Motivation, and I don't really look too much, to be real with you, I don't really look too much towards motivation. I just feel like documentation can help with motivation at the end of the day. It's another reason why I say check your body fat percentage, know what your weight is, but these shouldn't be end all be alls. Another thing you should definitely be checking when it comes down to fitness, you should be having like strength goals as well, like being able to hold a plank for a certain amount of time, being able to do a certain amount of sit-ups in one sitting, being able to do a certain amount of push-ups in one sitting, being able to do overhead squat. Little things like that should be documented as well, so that you can see not just the numbers either decreasing or just moving overall, whether they're going up or down, but you can also have something that's a little bit more exciting to see if you don't get what you want. And what I mean by this is you're trying to drop 15% body fat, but this one month out of all the other months, you didn't go anywhere when it comes to body fat percentage. You didn't go up, you didn't go down. When it came down to your weight, you didn't go up, you didn't go down. But because you documented your squat, you went from 135 to 155. That's something to really clap about. Just because you didn't see movement in body fat percentage or movement in weight, do understand the fact that you can lift more weight is already showing how conditioned you are in the discipline that you've built up to. So just like I said, be mindful and make sure at the end of the day you are tracking these things. Don't track and be very meticulous to a point that is taken away from what you should be doing. Like I have a client, I think is a good example, where sometimes we want to do certain sets in a certain amount of time, and they got their book and they want to stop what they're doing to write it in. And I understand that you don't want to forget, but sometimes when we're doing things on a timely basis, you have to be conscious of the time. And I don't want you to document things to a point that is taken away. Like a good example, if you're someone right now who's struggling with using a app like MyFitnessPal to really document everything, do me a favor and understand that you can start off your documentation by taking pictures. Like, some people don't realize how these little things get you very, 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 very far. I can't believe I just walked into an accident, and the accident itself is, make sure y'all, if y'all out here on these roads, make sure you drive safely. By the way, we just, walked into something. I'm like, damn, can we go around? I don't want to be here for a whole another hour. The truck ain't really in the way. Let's go around. Side note, but just overall, just those little things make a big difference, like, to really build the consistency that you want. Like, consistency is really key. I can't stress that enough. And this is another reason why I actually put this on the last video, where if you somebody that's really trying to work out and really trying to get in shape, try to find something that you enjoy. Me personally, I love weights. I love what I get from weights. So for me, when it comes down to it, I'm going to lift weights. You know what I mean? For you, that might be a point. You like running on a treadmill. If you like running on a treadmill, then knock out the treadmill. But do still understand there are going to be things that still going to be some things that you don't enjoy that you still going to have to do. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure, you know what I mean, you understand the pros to it, so that you can have the mental wherewithal to really get it done. Because there's exercises, me personally, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? But I do understand that if I skip these exercises do have an impact on my overall look that I may be trying to achieve, or it can be a point, me this particular exercise can hinder the improvements that I want to see, whether that be strength, or, like I said, rather that be looks. Because sometimes you can do stuff for looks. I will admit, me personally, I do train like a bodybuilder. Even though I'm not a bodybuilder, I train like a bodybuilder to a point that there are certain things that I want to improve on, like upper chest, broader shoulders, striations in the back. Those little things to me can be important depending on what phase I'm in. So always like to get people to understand that you can get more of what you want with documentation and consistency. The documentation and consistency is going to take things, once again, to a whole nother level, like a whole nother level, Trying to understand why they not, letting us go. We just sitting here, and I feel like, like, we not going to just, I get the cars right there, but it's neither here nor there. Like I said, drop your questions if you do have questions. Like I said, I'm always about transparency. You're not talking to somebody who just started doing this. We've been doing this for a while. Appreciate everybody that's tapping in, jumping on a live, that's clicking the likes while they jump on live as well. This is pretty interesting. I'm kind of like, are we gonna go? We not gonna go? Can we go around, or I didn't. I wasn't expecting this, and I definitely don't want to be here for another. Can we go around? What's the, what's the dilemma? I get the cars off the road. Like, what can we do? You know what I mean? Damn, it's like throwing